Yeah, this is just a performance that I've just never seen. No one's ever seen something like this. So
Dave Roberts calls Ohtani's Game 4 masterpiece the greatest postseason performance of all time, and we've linked the full post-game breakdown just above.
he's the greatest player on the planet. You know, what he did on the mound, what he did at the bat, he created a lot of memories for a lot of people.
Moments later, Mookie Betts adds that sharing a clubhouse with Shohei feels like watching history every night, a clip you won't want to skip.
Greatness. We're like the Bulls, and he's Michael Jordan. And whenever he goes, we're all going to go. And you see it today, and I'm just happy he's on our team.
We've also cued Dave Roberts explaining why he trusted Roki Sasaki for back-to-back outings insight that reshaped the entire series.
I have confidence in Roki. I trust him. I believe in his talent. I believe in his mind.
Finally, stick around for Max Muncy's candid, jaw-dropped reaction to those 3 moonshots, an on-field interview that perfectly captures the night's electricity.
3 homers, and one of them went out of the stadium completely. It's unbelievable.
Imagine walking into Dodger Stadium on a crisp October night, the air thick with anticipation and a hint of doubt. Shohei Ohtani, the two-way phenom who's supposed to redefine baseball, has been mired in a slump that's got everyone questioning if the magic's gone. But what if one explosive performance could shatter those doubts and launch the Dodgers into legend? Buckle up, because this isn't just a game, it's the night Ohtani became immortal. Dave Roberts calls Ohtani's Game 4 masterpiece the greatest postseason performance of all time, and we've linked the full post-game breakdown just above. Moments later, Mookie Betts adds that sharing a clubhouse with Shohei feels like watching history every night, a clip you won't want to skip. We've also cued Dave Roberts explaining why he trusted Roki Sasaki for back-to-back outings insight that reshaped the entire series. Finally, stick around for Max Muncy's candid, jaw-dropped reaction to those 3 moonshots, an on-field interview that perfectly captures the night's electricity. The road to Game 4 of the 2025 NLCS had been anything but smooth for the Los Angeles Dodgers, especially with their star at the center of it all. Milwaukee's Brewers rolled into town as the National League's regular season beasts, boasting 97 wins and a lineup that had terrorized pitchers all year. Yet the Dodgers' starting rotation turned the series into a masterclass in dominance, allowing just 2 runs across the first 3 games while racking up 25 strikeouts. Ohtani, though, was the wild card everyone watched with bated breath. His bat had gone ice cold since the NLDS against the Phillies, where he'd managed only a 103 average over 29 at-bats, striking out a whopping 12 times. Whispers in the media dug deep was the $700 million man crumbling under the weight of expectations. Fans on social media buzzed with speculation, some even floating rumors that his dual role as hitter and pitcher was wearing him thin, especially after a summer of 50 home runs and 50 stolen bases that left experts divided on his long-term sustainability. The Dodgers held a 3-0 lead, but closing out a sweep meant Ohtani had to deliver, or the narrative of his postseason fragility would stick like glue. And as the lights dimmed for the first pitch, the stadium held its collective breath, sensing a storm about to break. From the very first batter, Ohtani gripped the mound like a man possessed, his fastball humming at 100 miles per hour right out of the gate. Jackson Chourio, Milwaukee's young speedster, stepped in and watched a sweeper bend away before Ohtani painted the corner with heat that froze him for strike 3. The crowd erupted as Willie Adames, the Brewers' power threat, swung through a nasty splitter for the second K, and then Christian Yelich, the former MVP with a chip on his shoulder from past Dodgers clashes, chased a high fastball for out number 3. 3 strikeouts in the top of the first clean, ruthless, the kind of start that silenced the skeptics who'd questioned his arm after elbow surgery sidelined him from pitching last year. But Ohtani wasn't there just to throw. He flipped the script in the bottom half, leading off as the designated hitter and crushing a 116 miles per hour's line drive off Chad Patrick's first pitch. The ball soared 446 feet into the right field stands, a leadoff homer that put the Dodgers up 1-0 and sent shockwaves through the broadcast booth. Mookie Betts followed with a single, Will Smith added an RBI knock, and suddenly it was 3-0. Ohtani's fist pump as he circled the bases wasn't celebration, it was a declaration. The slump? Forgotten. The pressure? Fuel. And with the Brewers' hearts sinking, everyone knew this was only the opening act of something legendary. As the innings unfolded, Ohtani's command on the mound grew sharper, turning Dodger Stadium into a no-fly zone for Milwaukee's hitters. In the second, he retired the side in order, mixing 97 miles per hour sinkers with sliders that danced like illusions, leaving Garrett Mitchell and Joey Ortiz flailing at shadows. By the third, the Brewers scratched out a walk to Bryce Terang, but Ohtani bore down, inducing a double play grounder from Sal Frelick that Kike Hernandez scooped and flipped for the out. 7 strikeouts through 3 frames, and the no-hitter buzz started humming in the stands had anyone seen this level of poise from a guy who'd been dodging criticism for weeks. Rumors from the dugout leaked out later. Teammates like Freddie Freeman had pulled Ohtani aside pre-game, reminding him of his Japan Series heroics back in 2022, where he'd carried the fighters to a title with similar dual-threat flair. But the real intrigue built in the fourth, when Milwaukee loaded the bases on a hit by pitch and errors, hearts pounding as Yelich came up again. Ohtani stared him down, firing a 101 miles per hour heater that Yelich fouled off, then burying a splitter low and away for strike 3. The stadium shook. Ohtani had escaped the jam without a run, his pitch count at a crisp 65, and the Dodgers' lead held firm at 3-0. It wasn't just pitching, it was theater, each out peeling back layers of doubt and hinting at the offensive fireworks still to come. And as he handed the ball to the bullpen after 6 scoreless, the whispers turned to roars. This guy's rewriting the script. Ohtani's bat, though, was the real headliner, waiting in the wings, and it exploded in the fourth like a long dormant volcano. Facing Patrick again, who had settled in after a rocky start, Ohtani worked the count to 2-2 before unleashing a swing that connected with a 104 miles per hour fastball. The ball rocketed off his bat at 114 miles per hour, soaring 469 feet to dead center over the wall, over the scoreboard, a majestic arc that cleared everything in its path. The Dodgers pushed their lead to 4-0, and the broadcast crew lost it. Oh my goodness, Shohei Ohtani. Wow, up and over the roof. This wasn't some fluke pull shot. It was opposite field power from a guy who'd homered from both sides in his 50-50 club season, drawing comparisons to Babe Ruth's mythical feats, but in a modern era of velocity and spin. Post-game, Ohtani downplayed it with a grin, saying the bat flip was his first real one of the postseason, but insiders speculated the slump had built this fury, every missed swing in Philly fueling the fire. The Brewers' dugout deflated. Their ace starter, Freddie Peralta, had dominated in Game 1, but Patrick's night was unraveling, and Milwaukee's offense, which led the league with 97 wins, looked lost against LA's arms. Ohtani trotted back to the mound for the 5th, retiring the side again with 2 more Ks, his splitter biting like a viper. The transition from homer to shutdown innings felt seamless, a reminder of why scouts once called him a unicorn. But with 2 swings left in his night, the air crackled. Could he make history twice over? History didn't just knock, it burst through the door in the 5th, as Ohtani capped his offensive masterpiece with a 3rd homer that defied belief. On a 1-2 count against reliever Elvis Peguero, he turned on a slider and sent it screaming at 110 miles per hour, the ball climbing 427 feet before vanishing over the left field roof, gone from the stadium entirely, a rarity even in hitter-friendly Chavez Ravine. The crowd's roar drowned out everything, 52,000 fans on their feet as Ohtani admired the flight for a split second before rounding the bases. 3 homers all solo, accounting for every Dodgers run, and a combined 1,342 feet of distance, numbers that popped up on the Jumbotron and lit up Twitter feeds worldwide. This was the payoff to the speculation that had swirled all series. After intentional walks piled up in the regular season, was Ohtani being pitched around too much in October? Tonight, no one dared. Pitchers grooved it, and he punished them. Teammates mobbed him in the dugout, Betts yelling, "That's why you're the best." While manager Dave Roberts beamed, later revealing Ohtani had begged to pitch deeper despite the homer barrage. The Brewers, meanwhile, managed just a single in the 6th off reliever Joe Kelly, but it was too little, too late. Their series hopes crushed under the weight of Ohtani's dual onslaught. And as the inning ended with Ohtani's 10th strikeout, fanning Caleb Durbin on a filthy sweeper, the no-hitter bid faded, but something greater emerged, a performance etched in eternity. Peel back the layers on those stats, and Ohtani's Game 4 doesn't just shine at blinds. 12 total bases from 3 hits, a walk in his only other plate appearance, reaching base 4 times while allowing 0 runs on 3 hits over 6+ innings. 10 strikeouts on 89 pitches, with 18 whiffs efficiency that rivaled his Cy Young days in Anaheim. But the real jaw-dropper? He became the first player in MLB history to hit 3 homers and fan double digits in a postseason clincher, snagging NLCS MVP honors in a landslide. Comparisons flooded the airwaves. Better than Madison Bumgarner's 2014 World Series dominance? Closer to Ruth's 1,926 exploits, but with modern metrics like his 114 miles per hour's exit velocities dwarfing the Babe's. Rumors from the offseason resurfaced too. Had Ohtani's elbow rehab secretly supercharged his velocity, touching 102 miles per hour late? Critics who'd panned his 200 October average pregame 8 crow, with ESPN analysts noting this erased any small sample slump talk. For the Dodgers, it was validation of their super team build, blending Ohtani with Yamamoto and Snell to form an unbeatable core. Milwaukee's hitters, led by Yelich's 250 series line, couldn't touch it. 14 hits total, 1 run per game. Their 97-win magic reduced to a footnote. Ohtani's night wasn't stats on a page, it was a symphony of skill that begged deeper questions about his limits. The sweep's ripple effects hit hard, turning the Brewers' dream season into a nightmare fade. Milwaukee had stormed through the NLDS, ousting the Cubs in 5, but against LA's pitching fortress 35 Ks over 28 2/3 innings, they folded like a cheap tent. Pat Murphy's crew, with stars like Adames and Turang, managed just 9 hits in the finale, their lone run a 7th-inning solo off Brusdar Gratterall that felt like a consolation prize. Speculation swirled post-game. Did the Brewers peak too early, or was LA's depth bolstered by Ohtani's heroics the great equalizer? For the Dodgers, this 4-0 romp vaults them to a 2nd straight World Series, facing off against the ALCS survivor either Toronto's balanced attack or Seattle's young guns, with the series opener looming in a week. Ohtani's explosion fuels the hype. After a 2024 title run marred by his pitching absence, can he lead a repeat with arm and bat? Whispers in the clubhouse hint at rotation tweaks, maybe saving him for key World Series spots, but Roberts shut it down, praising Ohtani's unbreakable focus. Fan forums lit up with bets on his October stats, another 3 HR game, a no-no? The sweep doesn't just end a series, it ignites a dynasty debate, positioning LA as favorites and Ohtani as the face of baseball's future. But beneath the glory, subtle tensions linger. How does a guy this talented handle the bullseye that comes with it? Ohtani's masterclass in Game 4 wasn't a one-off spark, it's the flare that illuminates baseball's boldest what-ifs. Has the two-way trailblazer just peaked at 31, or is this the blueprint for an era where he shatters every barrier? Picture him in the Fall Classic, staring down aces with that same fire. Could it be the ring that cements his GOAT case? From the Dodgers' vantage point, the possible matchups add layers of intrigue and confidence to their repeat quest. If the Seattle Mariners close out their 3-2 ALCS lead over the Toronto Blue Jays with a Game 6 win in Toronto, LA faces a first-time World Series foe that's never reached the stage, blending surging stars like Julio Rodriguez and a pitching staff led by Luis Castillo that mirrors the Dodgers' own depth but lacks their October polish. Dodgers brass see it as a favorable clash, with Ohtani's speed and power exploiting Seattle's outfield gaps, while their rotation Snell, Yamamoto, Glasnow could overpower the Mariners' contact-heavy lineup in a potential 7-game grind. Should the Blue Jays force a Game 7 and advance, it's a rematch of eras pitting LA's firepower against Toronto's elite offense featuring Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Bo Bichette. But the Jays' bullpen woes and 4.76 playoff ERA give the Dodgers a clear edge in late innings. Either way, with odds at -185 to hoist the trophy and a 9-1 postseason record, the Dodgers view this Fall Classic starting October 24 as their stage to dominate, leveraging home field advantage and Ohtani's momentum to chase that rare back-to-back title unseen since the Yankees in 2000. The Dodgers march on, but Ohtani's shadow looms largest. What unfolds next might redefine the sport forever. Hit the comments with your predictions and stick around on the Show Insider for the deep dives that keep you ahead of